Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining us for the Flight Room Podcast, episode 31. I'm here with my guys, Remy Please, P Shaq, C Mo, White House. We got P and HD joining us shortly, and we also got B Morg on the way. Um, Here we are, Veterans Day, November 11th, celebrating all our veterans. Um, I'll just kick it off like this, man. If you had no choice, you had no choice but to join the military, which branch would you join? You have the Army, you have the Navy, you have the Air Force. Um, I'm pretty sure I'm missing some.
Marines.
Marines, yeah.
Space Force.
They actually do got their own segment. That's crazy though.
They accept the applications?
I don't know, man.
Navy SEAL, National Guard.
Is Navy SEALs is that a branch of the Navy? I mean, is that part of the Navy?
Navy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it depends. It depends, right? Okay, so Army, I feel like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just as my outside looking in perspective. I'm assuming Army, they get the most action. That's what I'm thinking because they on the ground. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking Army, they get the most action. Air Force, you're gonna be hopping out. I mean, Army, you're gonna be hopping out of helicopters and shit too. But Air Force, you're gonna be in the sky. If you a type of nigga that they ain't trying to be dealing with super fast speeds and fucking just being in the sky. Like, nigga, everybody ain't trying to be in the sky all the time. You know what I mean? And then you got Navy, so you're gonna learn how to dive. You're gonna have to learn how to dive, nigga. You're gonna be deep sea diving. You're gonna swim. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in the water. You're gonna be on ships. You probably gonna have to deal with waves and all kind of crazy shit. So you just pretty much got to find out which one out of those branches, which extremes you willing to deal with. Pretty much, out of the three, you pretty much trying to find, because I'm, what I mean. Which I don't know. Which I think. Which one do you think probably fits your personality the best, or fits on what type of person you are. None.
Facts. Give me the reserve. Give me the reserves. That way I can show up once a month. And my
What about ROTC?
National Guard.
Yep.
Yeah, they got their own segment too. But I do want to say,
All right, but what about the? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I want to say since I've been overseas and I've helped the military in certain circumstances, been in Afghanistan, been in Djibouti. I do got a certain respect, and just to see all of those guys like sacrifice on a daily basis. And I had a lot of buddies that had like 3, 4, 5 kids, and they couldn't see them for like 10 months, 11 months, a year at a time. So I got a lot of respect for them guys, man. Happy Veterans Day to those that have served and those that will be veterans, because there was a lot of lives lost, during the last 15, 20 years. But to your point, let's answer the question. I feel like Marines have like a certain like meanness to them, and they actually, if you look at their tests and some of the classifications they got to pass, it's a little more extreme than the other services. So I would say for notoriety, I would want to be a Marine, but I wouldn't want to push I don't think I would want to push myself and my body that much that long. Like, give me like a year or two to be like super great, but I don't want to be doing that into my 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna be no damn Green Beret and then running like 6-minute miles in my 40s. So for notoriety,
Yeah, but Marines is front line, ain't they?
Front line, yeah.
Marines is front line, right?
Yeah.
All day,
they the
every
first
day.
ones to see the action, right?
Yeah, they the first ones, and they versatile too. So the Marines, they could be on the ground, they could be in the water with the Navy. You know, they pretty much like all well-rounded. So I would say notoriety them. But since I've done so much with the Air Force, and I feel like the Air Force, they're catered to a lot. I know you probably hear this, you know, from some of the people that you know, but they are catered to a lot, and I feel like they get a lot of perks and technology before everybody else does. So I would say the Air Force.
What I'm just hopping in. So what was the question? If you had to get forced into the military, whatever, which branch you want to go to?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Army,
Yeah.
Navy, or Air Force? Which one suits you?
I'm gonna have to 100% agree with Paul on that. When I was young and dumb, I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to the Marines. I'm trying to shoot shit up, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to shoot some shit up. But now that I'm older, yeah, I'm trying to go what they call is the chair force, not the Air Force, but the chair force. The chair force. Man, I'm just trying to chill. I'm just trying to chill. Chill. Be an officer, whatever, just chill. And even then, you can be, the Air Force be chilling, dog. It don't matter what you was in that joint. The Air Force be chilling. Matter of fact, I know a major. He's a major, and probably by another 5-10 years, he'll probably be a general or whatever. But this nigga's a pilot or whatever, and he's actually the first black pilot I have ever met. The first black pilot I have ever met in the armed forces or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now he's doing like drones and shit or whatever. He's doing drones, but I'm with the ability. That's my dog. That's my dog. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Air Force.
Salute to him.
We got connections, y'all.
Yeah, if I had to choose one, I'd probably go with the Navy though, just because the Navy SEALs. I think I would try to be a Navy SEAL. I think they get there's a lot of notoriety in that, and there's not a lot of people who can do that. So I feel like if you actually become a Navy SEAL, it's like kind of separates you from most. So I think that's definitely something I would want to. If I was to choose one, I would probably go for the Navy just for that reason alone, to try to be a Navy SEAL. So that's the one I'd choose.
If I was forced, I would pick the Navy because I feel like they travel the most. But if I had free will and I was choosing, I'll probably pick the Marines because I think I'll be good at this shit. It's like real competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than that, Space Force because I want to see what is going on up there. I want to see if it's fake now.
Yeah, I think I have to go with the Air Force too, man. Like, I mean, I think the Navy probably would suit me better, but I just don't know about staying and being on a boat. It's something about me being on for that extended period of time that would mess up my mind. I mean, I think Air Force is probably my choice.
In that chair force, baby. Come on, we all going. Come on.
You want to be a seaman?
Hell no.
You want to be a seaman?
my pops was in the Navy and shit. He was an engineer and shit. He was like, dog. They underwater too long.
One thing about the Navy too is when they take to sea, sometimes they don't got any type of service, so they it's hard to interact with your loved ones back home. Sometimes that internet connection is not working. You know what I'm saying? So you could be at sea and the only people you're talking to is the bombers is right in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with the Army, the Air Force, and some whatever have you, they still got boots on the ground. So they could when they finish work whatever during the day, they could go to the fucking coffee shop and FaceTime their loved ones or whatever. But if
It's a good
I
point.
know a lot of
That's a
people
good
that's
point.
closed off anyway. You know what I'm saying? They closed off and they don't really, you know, fuck with everybody back at home. So they, you know, that's what they do. So, you know, if you single and you doing what you want to, shit, why not? Why not be
Has
on the
anybody,
damn?
has anybody here actually had any thoughts of doing any type in military service, like at any point in your life? Never.
My father was like, y'all going to join the Air Force when y'all finish school, but I always knew I was like, no, I'm not. Like, nah, nigga, I ain't about to do that shit. But I mean, that was it. That was probably the closest I ever did. My dad was just telling me that's what I was going to do, but I knew I wasn't going to do that shit. But that was about it.
Yeah,
Come here.
I do
I
think
actually almost joined the Air Force. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool as shit. Just, you know, looking at some of the planes and the technology that they have, but I'd rather just work for them rather than actually be in the military, which is what I do now. So.
I got a lot of family members in
I
the
mean,
military.
we live close. We live close to Andrews Air Force Base, so it is kind of cool just to see the different like planes and if I guess fighter vehicles or whatever you want to call them that you see, or jets you see every now and then. Like some of them shits, you be like, damn, like that's a real military plane. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of cool to see every now and then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was you about to say, Randy?
Now I got a lot of like military, like, you know, direct. And my uncle, he was like, "Don't do this shit, bro." He retired military, like got in, got out. You know what I mean, big ass house. Like, don't do
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm talking about. Exactly. And they tell you don't do it. And they got big ass houses and all that shit. My uncle was in the Marines.
A lot of perks.
Yeah.
But I
A lot
like,
of perks.
I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago, I was like, it was crossing my mind, and I looked at like how much they get like that first year. I'm like, nah, not me.
Yeah. You got to work your way up. You got to work it. You really get. You got to be a grunt, dog. You got to work your way up.
So this is the thing too, and this is what I noticed, and just, you know, just hear me out because I've been right in the middle of it. So think about this shit. You are based in fucking California or something, you know what I'm saying? Camp Pendleton or wherever, or even Hawaii. And you're there for 5 years, right? You're there for 5 years. They pay for everything. Everything is paid for. Your housing, your food, everything's fucking paid for. Only thing you gotta pay for is your fucking cell phone and your car. If you want to drive, because you're on base, you don't really need to. And you getting 50K, which you ain't probably gonna touch for that whole 5 years. And they give you stipends. And after that 5 years, when you base somewhere else, they give you location pay. Man, when these Bama, I'm trying to tell you, some of these Bamas that's like 22, when they come home, they like got like 200K in their bank. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think about that too. Like most of them, when they getting paid, they're not like us where we living straight in the city and we paying for everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? We living in the DMV and we paying 2K or whatever for your rent or your mortgage. Like they just stacking that shit. So just, you know, just my 2 cents. It's like I get it. Like, and you know, the pay is not like the best, but you pretty much got your service paying for you to stay wherever you want.
Yeah. If you ain't got to pay for nothing, shit, yeah.
And college and school.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to them.
My dog was in the wedding party. He in the Air Force and shit. Yeah. You talking about that shit all the time. Caking.
Yeah, salute to all those that have served, all those that will serve, and all those that have previously served. Thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you do for our country and for us. Flat out. I guess I don't know how to transition, but I just want to salute them. But so I just would you guys rather have own a high-end clothing line that you can only order online, or own a clothing line that you can buy at like local retailers such as like Target, Kohl's, Walmart, or whatever.
TJ Maxx, shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, Remy, please, you tell me, man. I feel like this is your question right here, man. Would you rather have a high end, you know what I'm saying, clothing line, or would you rather have something that people could just buy in Target, Walmart, you know what I'm saying, shit like that?
Artistically, if it was my baby, like my, you know, my ideas, I'm putting into fruition and put it in stores for people to buy. I would want it to be like high end, because I know like the high end stuff, you're getting like the best of the best quality. Like certain like designer shit, like just feel better on you, versus like stuff that you buy like
Yeah.
in Walmart or anything like that. But I think uh, money wise, I don't think it's too much difference. If your shit is popping in Walmart and if your shit is doing okay on the high end aspect, I think it's pretty much equal on the same line. Like your shit could be everywhere in Walmart, like Khloe Kardashian jeans or some shit like that. Like her shit is like all over there, but you can get like a small boutique and shit, and people paying high price for something like that, and it's not being sold, at a like a high scale, like production wise. So I don't know. It's however you want to get it out there.
I would say, all right, so I agree with you on the artistic perspective. If I'm on some creative shit and just trying to just express my creativity to a highest degree, then of course you're gonna want some high end shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you can use the best materials, the best everything. You know what I'm saying? But money wise, yes, I would definitely probably go with like a Walmart or Target. And the reason why is because I feel like most people, the average person ain't don't know nothing about high fashion. I feel like the average person is just going to wear some shit that's comfortable, easily accessible. So if you're going to go to Walmart, Target, I feel like if you look at think about it, when you go to Ocean City, when you go to like those certain areas, and I mean it's a beach town, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like when you go to like the areas where you see the average American, ain't nobody out there super fresh. Like the average American, they not super fly. Like niggas just be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Or they just happy. You know what I'm saying? Just to be getting by. So I think if I have something that the average person could purchase, I think I make way more money than something that's just exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might be less money to, it might be a $15, $25 shirt, but I feel like I'll make more money because I'm selling it to the majority of the population compared to something that's like some high end boutique type shit. You know what I mean?
And I would feel like a piece of shit though sometimes. Like if I'm making like high end shit and then seeing like the cost to make it is pretty much on the same lines on the cost to make some Walmart shit, and you just charging out the ass.
Yeah, for sure.
So like I remember I seen like Virgil's like off-white, like for the fours that was coming out, they had like how much it cost to make the shit, and it was like $4 for like a sneaker, and he's charging $300, and then the resale is like $800. Like that part of the game is kind of fucked up. Like I don't know how like they feel morally about this shit, but I'm sure like you get to a certain level, you gotta have some type of fucked up moral compass. But yeah, artistically, yeah, I want all the tools.
What about you, Shaq?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I would want to be high end just because it's a little bit more like notoriety and recognition for a high end. But to Remy's point, I wouldn't want to be so high end that I'm like marking up like 55 times what I paid for it. That's like usury. That's just, you know what I'm saying? That's fucking up everybody in the culture that you're supposed to be supporting.
Right.
So yeah, it would be something like around like, some Kyrie shit. Like I kind of fuck with like Kyrie's prices on his sneakers. Like he never go over 200. I don't even think he go over 150 on most of his shit. Right. But it would be like some stuff like that. Like, some if everything had to be online, it would be, you know, probably some highly sought after stuff, but not into the, you know, the Kanye realm of pricing.
But at the same time, like Kanye about to start fucking with Gap, and it's gonna make it a little bit more reasonable because like they have the means to do so. I don't know.
But I seen an interview years ago when people was like, "Why do you make your stuff so expensive?" And Kanye was like, "Cause in the hood you get clowned when you be wearing that like not, you know, designer shit. So it's like, why would I make something that's like, oh, you're making this for people who have less money, but then the people who have less money don't want to wear that shit anyway because they're gonna get clowned for it." So he was like, that's why he made his shit so-called high end, because it'll be more respected by those same people who will clown you if he didn't make it high end. You know what I'm saying? Which makes all the sense in the world, you know. Because think about how many of those like clothing brands that like hip hop artists came out with, and they would, I guess they try to make them high end, but then after a while, it was like that shit was like, you know, something you just get at Target, Walmart, you know, something like that. But that wasn't the intention originally. But then it ended up going. They ended up, you know, putting them in those places. So.
Any of y'all have S dots?
Nah, it just never occurred to me.
I never had those.
No
That's
jeans.
an example.
I did want to get those joints though.
My dad had them joints. He
He
had like 3 of these shits. He had
Your
like 3
dad
of them.
had them?
My dad had them S dots. He
Oh,
did.
for real? I ain't know nobody that had it. I knew it was.
But
I never knew nobody that had them.
Yeah, I ain't know nobody that had them.
But that
was kind of that was like a grown man sneaker though. Like, because remember when they came out, we was in high school. Like niggas wasn't wearing shoes like that back then. Like not when we was in high school.
Exactly.
Because they
We
was
were
like,
just coming off the Randy Moss Jordan joints.
because they was pro kids and older niggas were pro
Yeah,
kids.
they was like pro kids.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was.
It was like the first creative reactions, or creative reactions, our little dress shoe jumps, casual shoes. All right,
when y'all was in school though, did because we speaking on fashion designs, and you know, like I said, right now, you know, it's a lot of you know, pro blackness and supporting black businesses. But remember, at a time, nigga, if you had FUBU on, which was like the only fucking black fashion line back then that was popping. Remember El Cool J? They had like the little they had the videos. What was that shit called? They had that song called Fatty Girls or whatever, and everybody in the video had FUBU on. And I remember it got to the point where nigga, if you was caught wearing FUBU, you be getting fried the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So I just find it interesting that back when we was younger, that shit wasn't cool to wear shit like that. But like now, it's like support your black business. So those niggas gonna be rocking FUBU. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say this shit was happening in the middle of when FUBU was whack. Like, do you think all of a sudden that niggas would be like, you know what, maybe we need to change our thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like let's say this happened at that time period when it wasn't cool to wear FUBU, but all that was going on at the same time, all this shit going on socially. Like, do you think people would be like, you know what? Maybe we're going about this the wrong way, or you think it still be the same shit? You know what I mean?
I think it depends on who co-signed it, because like I think if Travis Scott start wearing FUBU, I think motherfuckers would get in line for the shit. So
I also think
that's a good one. That's a good point.
I also think they got to advance their design too, because if I remember correctly, like a lot of their shit just had the 05 on it, and it literally just said. So I mean, it was hard to be like, you know what I'm saying, stylish in a FUBU 05 jersey for, you know what I'm saying, like, so I think they would have to advance that portion as well, if I remember correctly.
That big old FB, that joint had that big ass FB on it. I had a red FUBU and a gray FUBU. I did.
That was back when No Limit jersey was coming out, but with the FB, the FUBU, I'm surprised, because I think like 90% of the niggas that we all know clown that joint wearing it, but the nigga who came out with this joint is a fucking, I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's definitely a millionaire. He's on the Shark Tank and shit.
It's homeboy from Shark Tank, yeah.
Yeah, so he's getting a last laugh at the end of the day. He made his money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, of course he made his money. I just mean like socially and culturally. You know what I mean? That's all I'm talking about.
No.
But yeah, of course he made his money. He made his money.
But that's my thing.
But it's funny because back in the day, the reason why we started. But the funny thing is, back in the day, the reason we started wearing FUBU, like as far as like personally, my family, my household, because my dad started wearing it, he bought that shit for us because it was called For Us By Us. He was like, this is some black
Right.
shit. So we literally, the whole intention behind buying this because it was black. But then after you bought it and then you go to school, niggas was clowning you. You was like, God damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Let me go put some Tommy Hilfiger on real quick. You know what I'm saying? To keep these niggas off me. You know what I'm saying?
And he don't fuck
But
with
it's
that
just
nigga.
funny. It's just funny how shit is, though. It's funny
Yeah.
how shit is. But
Yeah, that's
but yeah,
that's what I'm
that
saying.
was a funny time.
That's crazy how that shit worked out because nobody, like you said, nobody really fucked with the joint. Everybody was clowning niggas if you had that shit. But this nigga's a fucking multimillionaire who made this shit. It's like I don't know how the hell he did it. And niggas really did.
Distribution.
It's for us. It's supposed to be for us, for black folks, color peoples,
It
whatever.
was a good slogan.
You know what I'm
It just I couldn't wear the shit.
Yeah. So many. I don't know. But he made his fucking money. He definitely made his fucking money. I don't know how he did it because everybody, like I said, I'm pretty sure we can go to any city and ask if niggas was copping the food, but it was like, nah, nigga, that's some whack shit or whatever.
That shit was probably in you gotta think about it. That shit was probably in the Walmarts, the Targets, and the Kohl's shit, and the distribution things.
Nah, that joint was in Macy's
right.
at one point. That shit was, or back when it was called Hex or whatever. But that shit was like in Macy's at one point. It was. That shit was in there.
Yeah.
Hackers.
How would you want about it, Al? If you had a choice.
Oh, if I had a choice, I'm going high end. I'm going high end just because I'm thinking about the actual overhead costs and the actual like. I know we have. Don't get me wrong. I know we have some of the some top black designers such as like Virgil, Jerry Lorenzen, and some other people. But I mean, I don't think we have as many. And so like the actual overhead costs and actually the opportunity to market to our people, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, like develop some good good material and push it out, I'll probably go with that and have that opportunity. I would love, you know what I'm saying, of course I would love to be in I would love to be in everybody's closet, but at the same time, me personally, I didn't like wearing the same thing everybody else wore. So I wouldn't want the same I wouldn't want my clothes being something that everybody else wore. You know what I mean? I would want there to be some
Exactly.
to my clothes.
But that just depends like what.
But that's all on price though, right? That's all. The only thing that's gonna make it exclusive is how much it costs.
No, not really.
Nah, because like it depends what circle you in. Because like if you go to like certain events, of course people gonna be wearing the same shit. If you go to high school, people gonna be wearing the same shit. It's like what circle you in. Like it don't matter like where you get it from. It's like what type of shoulders you rubbing. People gonna be wearing the same shit.
But if I'm high end and if I'm only doing it online, for the most part, I feel like I have complete control of the production numbers, and I can be like, all right, well, shit, you know what? I'll make this shirt, but I'll only sell 1,000 of them, and then I'll make a similar shirt, a part 2 or what have you, in which only be like 1,000 of them. So you can actually put like limitations on how much you are selling of your product, and especially if you're only selling online. I mean, well, you can do that regardless of like if you're in wherever distribution portion you're at, but I think with the actual opportunity to sell online and truly control the market, whereas though you're literally only paying for your shipping out and you know what I'm saying, your website and the materials and everything, as opposed to like worrying about like the distribution, going to the different stores and everything. So I think that would be my take. And then also, like I said, you can control how much you're shipping out. And me personally, like I said, I don't like to see and this just me, and it's always been like this. Like even when like you get the new Jay-Z, you get the new tennis shoes and everything like that. Like everybody used to wear theirs on the first day of school. I mean, in the first couple of weeks or what have you. Like I tried to wait as long as possible until like everybody had wore theirs, and so it was just always like trying to be a little bit different. So if I could take that same like structure or whatever method to designing clothes and distributing clothes, I would do that.
And then also like I'll like say like Polo, Ralph Lauren, like it will end up in the Polo store, and then be in Macy's, and the shit that don't sell in Macy's and shit will end up in Marshalls, TJ Maxx and shit. Like, but like if you selling a certain amount, this shit's automatically gonna sell out, and there's no like price drop for that shit. Like you getting 100% of your projected sales. So yeah, I understand that. I just don't like the hype behind the shit sometimes. Like, cause Virgil shit don't be popping for real. Like, if you look at the shit, it's all old shit. He just like remixed it. Like, it's not really like new ideas. So,
and he's doing it with
I think it's just with all fashion. I think it's just because of the hype around of his name right now. Niggas just gotta have Virgil. You know what I'm saying? Right. Just because he's the hottest name right now in fashion, as far as like so-called the urban, fashion. So, that's what I think that shit is. It's just hype. It's hype right now. It's a lot of hype.
It cost the hype. Heavier shit in Walmart or Target. I mean, but that's the thing with Kanye ended up in the Gap, and he said, like, I remember he said on one of them interviews, I think it was the Joe Rogan joint, he said Gap is like the Apple of like the clothing industry. Like, got that clean cut, image. So if he make his shit accessible like that, then yeah, he about to make his billions even more.
Yeah, and I think
I might agree with that.
I think one of the other things would be like, having the opportunity to quote unquote control which celebrities, or not even control, but have an influence on what celebrities wear the clothing, and then also like how that shapes culture. So we see like how right now, like, how some of the materials and some of the things that are the clothing items are like perpetuate like gang culture and different things of that nature. So if I could shift and change that mindset with the clothing line and with the clothing items that, that I was producing, that would probably be like dope in my aspect.
Like flaunting and shit and jealousy.
Yeah. And I mean, and as we see it, like, I mean, like, I think with the flaunting and the jealousy and everything that comes about from that, like it brings about like a glorified gang culture, And I just wonder, like, go ahead.
Before you start, isn't that kind of like why they even in DC, why the kids have to wear uniforms and shit? I guess it was to try to like keep the violence and down, because I guess some kids might come to school with a clothing item that another kid didn't have, and they would get jealous. So it's like, hey, everybody just wear uniforms to try to eliminate that as much as they can.
Or even this shit.
Hey, but do y'all think that really? Do y'all think that really like plays a part? Like, I mean, like, truthfully, like, because even still, yes, you're in your uniform and everything, but at the same time, you still have to have your accessories. And so if your accessories aren't up to par, you're still going to get the same ridicule, the same joning, the same, like, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say bullying.
Yeah.
The same bullying, even if it's like your accessories. And I know it's your clothing changes everything. And I remember, of course, we remember the Wale song when Wale was talking about the laundry. I mean, white shoes, dirty laundry, white shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wonder. I mean, I never had to wear uniforms growing up. But I always had like friends that had to wear uniforms, and like even still, they would have to do so much more, especially like on the weekends and even during school. I mean, even during the week when it was like an actual dress down day, or even to make sure that they had enough clothes to be able to. I don't know. So I just wonder. I always had that like dilemma or that like on how that played.
I mean, I think you're right. I agree. I think the intention was to try to eliminate that, but you know how people are. It's like, all right, now I can't hate on you, or now you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we can't hate on each other because of our clothes. So, oh, he has a watch I don't have. Oh, they have, oh, her hair is done the way my hair is not done. It's like, that's just, people always gonna find a reason to be mad. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like, niggas can get very, I mean, when I say niggas, I don't mean black. I'm just saying people in general can get very creative with the hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, that people are really good at finding a reason to not like somebody when they don't want to, But yeah, so what was you saying? You was talking about the glorification What was the last thing you said about the?
I was just getting at, like, when does the glorification of, like, quote unquote gang culture, even, I mean, I guess that is tying into like some of the bullying and some of the different things that happen in school, where you got the school fights and then those translate into the streets and stuff. But I was just wondering, like, when does the glorification and like the glorification of gang culture, like whether it's fighting, whether it's shooting, whether it's robbing, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, like anything at above, like anything that is tearing down of the next person just to uplift yourself. I wonder, you know what I'm saying, at what point in time does that stop, and how do we get it to stop if we can?
I mean, all right. So, with that whole topic, it's multi-layered because, all right. So, if we start with one place where you got people who in impoverished neighborhoods that, like, they stressful situations, poverty, people not having a lot. So it's like it heightens the level of competition with your neighbor because y'all lacking resources. So you look at the person next to you as competition. Makes sense. So then you have people who live in this lifestyle. Then you have people who say, "Hey, this is interesting that the average American is not going through this. So let me put a lens and camera on these people and let me broadcast it for the world to see." So then all of a sudden, when they started broadcasting this life for the world to see, it created a market, right? So then it became a market. The average person who's not going living that life, not going through that lifestyle, but they're attracted to that lifestyle. So like I said, it created a market. Now it becomes an addiction. Now it becomes like I want to see more hood shit. I want to see more gang shit. I want to see more of that. You know what I'm saying? And then the people who's actually living that life, they're watching the positive reinforcement of being a gangster because they get so much attention from it. They see niggas from their gang culture getting elevated in the music industry for talking about how they was shooting and killing niggas, and then they get glorified. They like, wow, King Von was getting elevated for being a real street nigga. Look at all the fucking notoriety he's getting, all the respect he's getting. Well, shit, if he can get rich and famous off being a shooter, why can't I be one too? You see what I'm saying? So now it's just creating more of it. So because there's a market for it, because the people who's not going through that lifestyle actually want to see that, and then you got niggas who's actually going through it. They see that people actually are not glorifying their, giving it positive reinforcement. It's like, nigga, why not be that way? There's not a lot of options out here, and the niggas who I do see getting out is rapping, and they was committing crimes, they was doing this in the third. So who's to tell me that I can't be successful in the same fucking way? You know what I mean? And the answer to the question, when does the glorification stop, is when the people get tired of consuming the shit. Because as long as niggas see that there's niggas getting rich off of being a gang nigga, niggas are going to continue to be gang niggas because there's a lot of positive reinforcement that comes with that shit. So I think once the market for it goes away and people stop consuming that shit, then it will start to seem pointless to a lot of these. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these killings is senseless, and it's really more about reputation more than anything. You know what I'm saying? And even the nigga King Von, to be completely honest, the reason why people respect him so much is because he was really what he was talking about in his raps, even though it wasn't positive, but he really was that nigga. You see what I'm saying? So that's the reason why he got that level of respect. Even he not getting respect for nothing positive. He just getting respect because he really did what he talked about in his rap. So I mean, that's how I look at this shit. As soon as people stop consuming that, King Von be like, damn, like, I guess people don't think this shit is cool. Maybe I'll need to live like this. You know what I mean? I feel like we actually put these niggas, the people who are not living that life, we kind of have not direct responsibility, but we are creating that lane for these niggas in these situations to feel like that's who they need to be. If that makes any sense, I think that's the best way to put it. So
it is, because like for the movie, nobody. It's only like a small percentage that's living that life. For the people that's consuming his music, like that's a a big difference. Who's yeah.
Yeah, I think the other thing, man, I think one of the things is so even as you have, like, I'll say seasoned vets, like, actually speaking out about like how this is or how this needs to like stop, and like even with the podcast and like whether it's on social media, Instagram or whatever. Like, so for instance, like even T.I. came out and was like, you know what I'm saying, whatever he said about like handle the beefs in your city. And like, yes, that might not have been his place to say anything on it, but like the backlash he got from like the steppers and everything like that just shows you how much of a glorification and like a justification it can be. Whereas though you're like, You can't tell us what to do, especially if
he's not telling them to stop it completely. He said just do it in your own city. Like you're not telling
right. But he got endless backlash from everybody. Well, from not from everybody, from a good number of people, a good number of celebrities, a good number of street people, where they was like basically stay out of this one. But I mean, like he didn't say like you said, Randall, he ain't say nothing about like, you know what I'm saying, don't do it or put the guns down or anything of the sort. But even still, people was coming at him and telling him like stay out of it. And it's like, bruh, I'm just speaking on like us as I probably putting words in his mouth, but I'm speaking on us as a community, and don't do that here in Atlanta. But y'all are bringing it to Black Hollywood, as you call it.
Yeah, and that's his hometown. He should feel like.
I know what you're saying with that, but now go ahead, Randall.
I mean, yeah, he should feel like that because that's his hometown. But at the same time, you're not like, what are you saying at the end of the day? Like you saying just do the shit not on my front lawn, like that's not like positive.
All right. So my question to y'all: do y'all think, like honestly, do y'all think that like gang members and like street niggas or so-called, like, are they not looked at within our so-called Black culture? Are they not looked at as empathetic figures? You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of seems like it to me, like, you know, they almost look like, oh man, they just doing what they got to do to survive. Like you can't judge them. They almost kind of got like you can't even judge. You're not even allowed to speak on it. And I feel like because of that, you know what I'm saying, it's almost as if we're just enabling the shit to continue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's almost like you can't even talk about this shit, you know? And the sad thing about it goes all the way back to that conversation we had months ago. That nigga King Von had kids. You know what I'm saying? So now he got kids that's gonna grow up without a father. The nigga who shot him most likely had kids. Now their kids is gonna grow up without a father. All about what? Over some he said, she said shit. Oh, because you was mad. It's all, you know, it's kind of crazy. It's almost if like it's like male cattiness turned violent. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like a lot of this shit don't be about nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like if it was just women, it'd just be back and forth, you know, arguing. But because it's men, it turns into death and violence, you know what I'm saying? And fatherless children, you know? So I don't know.
And it's like a notch on their belt. Like if you the dude to get him, that's like a notch on your belt.
This shit don't mean nothing because it don't amount to anything. At the end of the day, it don't amount to shit. You know, so it's kind of crazy, you know. And the funny thing, like even as much as we talk about Nipsey Hussle, the reason why Nipsey Hussle got so much love is because he was a gang member first who did positive shit. If that nigga just went to college and he ain't do nothing wrong, straight edge, and did the same shit, nobody would give a fuck and nobody would talk about this nigga. The reason why he was so loved is because he came from something negative and he did something positive. If you took that gang member aspect away from Nipsey Hussle, nobody would give a fuck about his positivity, you know? So, and that just also goes into, and what does that do, right? You a young nigga, right? Oh, I'm trying to be a positive member of society. Nobody recognizes me. I'm so positive. I'm so positive. Nobody just sees it. And then you look to your left and you see gang member nigga doing the same shit you do, but he just a gang member. He gets all the fucking love and glory. It's like, nigga, why not join the Crips? You know what I'm saying? Because if I join the Crips and I do positive shit, the Black community will, embrace me with open arms. You see what I'm saying? So even as crazy as it seems, I felt like that was a commercial for the Crips. As fucked up as it sounds, I know it may not be a popular opinion, but that's how it looked to me. It's like, damn, like this nigga, you understand what I'm trying to say? It's like, I'm not sitting there saying you can't turn your life positive, but I felt like the reception, I'm not even judging Nipsey. I'm talking about how the people perceived it. If he was never had a negative past, I don't think he would have got nowhere near the amount of love he got when he died.
I think absolutely right.
So that's just, I guess that's something that we gotta look at within ourselves as a culture and be like, are we just as responsible as these niggas? Like I said, a lot of these dudes don't have nothing positive in their lives going on. They don't get no compliments. They don't get nobody telling them they're smart. Nobody tells them they're handsome. No one tells you can do this, you can do that. But the only fucking thing positive they see is they see other shoot 'em up, bang bang niggas on TV and on the back. So why would you not want to be a shoot 'em up, bang bang nigga when you see that the only niggas who seem to get patted on the back is those niggas? Like, think about that shit. Why not be like that? It makes sense.
But who's pushing this industry to make a means to do so?
I don't think it's just the industry. I think it's Western civilization.
Nah, it's definitely
Competitiveness.
it's an industry. It's a whole industry. Like,
It's yeah,
Yeah,
there's a
I
whole
agree, but at the end
industry,
of the day,
but
they're not going to. As long as niggas is buying, they will be selling. So we can blame them for taking advantage of these niggas and this, that, and the third. But then you got niggas who have no reason. Like, really, at the end of the day, you don't got really no reason to be entrenched in that type of shit. But it's fascinating to you. So because of your fascination with street culture, more niggas is going to try to be like this, and they're going to die young, and they're going to leave fatherless children because of a fascination with the culture that don't amount to shit.
but I'm
You know what I'm
saying,
saying? At the end of the day.
but there's no culture.
but
My-
TMZ picks these stories up, and then like who's behind that? And the record companies. I mean, Cardi B is like the biggest artist out here, and her like first single is Bodak Yellow. Like
Some gang shit.
she came on the scene on some gang shit, and
But it wasn't at the. But ain't that part of the reason why niggas fell in love with Cardi? Because she was an ex-gang member who was a
I
stripper
didn't
who
even
did
know she
something
was an
positive with her
ex-gang.
life. That's why niggas fell in love with her. Let's keep it real. Like, that's what it was. If she
I
was
thought it
like
was
just
just
a
she was a
college
stripper.
girl
I
who went to
didn't know.
college and shit, I don't think it would have been the same.
she got her whole cosign
Like,
from
you know what I'm saying?
But
the game.
what I was getting at is like the whole Western civilization is based off of just straight competitiveness or capitalism at the end of the day. But I'll downplay it and say competitiveness. Somebody got to be at the bottom, and somebody got to be at the top at the end of the day. So that's just just how it's gonna rock. That's just how it's gonna rock. It doesn't matter whether if you want to go down to some if you want to say gang shit or whatever, or if you want to go to some fucking CEO president type shit or whatever, or actually the president of the United States. It's all about capitalism. Somebody got to be in the bottom. Somebody got to be at the top. At the end of the day. So
Outside of this, like hip hop shit, like these basketball niggas be doing the same shit. So
What you mean as far as what?
glorifying gang culture, like James Harden.
Oh, you talking about when like John Wall throwing up? That's the shit I'm talking about. But what is John Wall doing when he's throwing up those? He's promoting black male death. He may not see it that way, but that's what the hell he's doing because there's nothing else that brings. He may not have died.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He may not. The only reason why the nigga would feel the confidence to do that because he knows that there's a little bit of K that comes with that. There's you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh shit, he blood. Oh, he a real nigga. What other reason would you do that shit?
Hey, I don't know, but at the same time, I mean, some of those people, I mean, like they might not be actually living out that life, that gang life still, but they come from that culture and like even are going back to. So I'll just say for John Wall and of course I don't know anything personally or anything, but like so with John Wall and him throwing up the gang stuff, John Wall, like they say he
not the only one. He's not the only one either. So like,
yeah, I know. I'm only speaking on John Wall just because of like, you know what I'm saying? We know he came from like the troubled North Carolina background or what have you. And he was like, he grew up around street bammers and he grew up, and I think his father might even have been like a street bammer or what have you.
Yeah, his father was, yeah.
Most recently, we saw him throwing up the gang signs whenever he was in the hotel room. And of course we thought that shit was dumb as shit. But at the same time, like I think what happened with John was probably he was in the middle of a crisis. And whereas though his mother just passed, you know what I'm saying? Like he's been dealing with the two seasons of being off, and then all of a sudden, like you go back to what you know, and either you at that crossroads, you at that fork in the road where either you can go, you know what I'm saying, to the light of positivity, or you can go back to what you know and what you've been accustomed to. And I think that's might have been what he did. Not to say that John is a bad person or John has done anything other than throwing up gang signs throughout the game. And John is one of the top 5 gang sign thrower uppers in the game. But I don't know him. I don't know.
I don't think it's that serious though. I don't think it's that serious because
No, I mean, I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think at the end of the day, like, yes, that's where you come from, but even that, it's like, oh, where I come from. I came from this gang, this neighborhood. What them niggas used to do? I was just shooting, kill niggas. Oh, I know a bunch of niggas that got shot and killed, death, murder, homicide. It's like at the end of the day, that's still what that shit means. Like, even if that's where he came from, he's saying basically, I came from a place of violence and death. That's basically what he's explaining when he says that, because that's all that comes from that shit. So it's still, and it's not like, oh, hey guys, don't be like this, or you know what I'm saying? It's like it's promoting as if it's a good thing. And then if there's a nigga from his neighborhood came from the same background, he like, oh shit, he became a multimillionaire NBA and he's still blood. I could still be blood and be successful. But everybody don't got the gift that John Wall has. Everybody else can't run as fast as he can. It can't jump as high as he can. It can't shoot a basketball like he can. So them saying when he throws up that sign, he's giving hope to niggas who can't do what he can do. And then them niggas is going to end up with the early death. They're going to end up having fatherless fucking children, or they're going to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, even though he may be harmless and he may not have hurt nobody, he still influenced some young nigga from his neighborhood to go down that path. Either way.
Because John Wall is a good person. So, like,
I know he's a good, I'm not taking nothing away from him.
Yeah,
But like I said, you can be a good person and still lack awareness. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say he's a bad person. Like, I know he has a good, I've seen it multiple times through all the years and shit, but I just don't co-sign that shit. I just don't co-sign that.
Yeah,
but we're all human, nigga. Everybody gonna find something. I guarantee you, we all can find somebody each other. We not gonna co-sign. Like, nigga, that's just fucking people. That shit ain't no big deal.
But that incident when he got caught up on like a cell phone, I think that's different from because like of course that's not his cell phone, and like he think he's chilling with the fellas and shit, and then probably a hot ass friend posted jump. You know what I'm saying? But if you on the floor and you catch an N1 and you throwing that shit up, that's a little different. Like that's, I mean, millions of people watching, so that's a little different. And another thing I want to put out there, like how that work when you a blood and shit, and then you end up playing for I don't know
a blue team.
Yeah, Tar Heels and shit like how that shit work?
You know he can't wear that damn Tar Heels hat at home.
Like that nigga went to Kentucky.
Whatever. Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah, red
That's
draws.
probably why he didn't go there. That's probably why he didn't go to the Tar Heels though. Probably for that reason right there. Niggas like, nah, I'm going to Kentucky. I'm good.
I ain't never understand this shit.
It's funny as shit though. Mm-hmm.
Like that is that why they be demanding trades? I don't know.
Russell Westbrook just demanded one.
Yeah, he trying to go to New York. I don't see why.
Cool.
I don't either.
Westbrook?
John Wall?
Nah, Westbrook.
Oh, Westbrook trying to go to what? Brooklyn?
Nah. New York.
Trying to go to the Knicks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
He just want to be the spotlight. Whatever reason, because they ain't winning shit. Whatever reason would you want to go to New York?
But why he don't think he already the spotlight? I get it, but
Nah, if you the star in New York, nigga, they going, I mean, but then again, if he don't win, he gonna get that mellow treatment. New York fans is tough.
New York ain't doing shit.
All right, man. Say that for the fifth quarter, y'all.
All right, one more. They said Chris Paul might get traded to the Suns.
Yeah, I saw that. That actually might happen.
I like that.
His name in a lot of rumors right now. His name is in a whole rack of rumors right now.
Because Devin Booker needs some help.
I don't think that make him like exceptionally better though. I think Chris Paul should stay in OKC.
I think he did good with them.
Yeah. So,
That man LeBron about to get a point guard. There's too many niggas out here getting traded out this joint. That means Lakers about to get somebody.
But they said,
all right, so since we talking about like all this gang shit, obviously that's opposition, two people on other sides. But what if you was like actually in a relationship with somebody where y'all had opposing political beliefs? You know what I'm saying? Like that's that could bring a lot of issues in the relationship. Do y'all think that's possible? I mean, I've seen it happen, but do you think that's a difficult thing to do, or do you think it's like more based on the maturity level of the people in the relationship? Like, so if you and your partner got two opposing political views, do you think it's like how easy of a relationship you think that would be?
Well, I mean, that's grown people talk. That's grown folk talk. So yeah, I don't think it's that serious. I don't think it's that serious. That's grown folk talk. That's grown folk talk.
Maybe for you, I seen people online saying they canceling their friends, like associates, friends, like anybody other sort, because they have different political views. So if you're in the same house,
I get it.
and if you have that mentality, though, I'm not talking about you per se, but some people out there, if they have that mentality, and
that shit is new though. Talking about you canceling your friends or whatever. But I get it. I don't. Yeah, man, I get it. Okay, you didn't know your friend was a racist and he wanted to vote for Trump or whatever, or she wanted to vote for Trump or whatever.
Corey,
like, all right, I get it, but it's not that serious. It's not that serious at the end of the day. It really isn't.
So hold on. So you saying if your wife voted for Trump, you saying it's not gonna be that serious?
No, it's not gonna be that serious. It's not. I don't. Honestly.
If she,
maybe it's just me. Honestly, it's not that fucking serious.
You somebody that go hard for your political party and shit.
But I don't have a political party. I'm a registered independent. But
so you go hard for the.
I lean left. You know what I'm saying? But it's. I don't think it's that serious at the end of the day. Like you got these niggas pulling up from Virginia all the way to fucking Philadelphia in a goddamn Humvee and shit, racked up. These niggas got whatever the hell guns on them and shit, banana clips and whatever. But it's like it's not that serious. It's not that serious.
All right. So what if you had a partner that did take it that serious? Does that cause a problem?
I found a few locations for Department of Service near you.
Gosh. Oh my god.
We getting locked up. Everybody get down.
I should listen to everything Randall be saying. Turn that shit off. You said what?
What you think?
I don't know. I think it's all about communication, because what I learned over the years is that as long as somebody can explain their point, you know what I mean? Like, I might not have seen it from their perspective. Like, honestly, like they might have a whole different like vantage point, right? Like how how something of an event happened and somebody might be at a different angle and they see it a different way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody was like, all right, like I base my political beliefs off of, this and this, and it's not about race, it's about, how I'm gonna feed my children, or like, how much taxes I'm gonna pay, or you know what I'm saying, like something like that. And then they got a reasoning behind it, and you know what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't be like, well, I'm a fucking unwife you. Like it would be more like, all right, well, shit, now you opened up my eyes to your viewpoint. Like I'm not changing my standpoint just because that's what you said, but you know what I'm saying, we ain't gonna be like not talking for a week.
Right. And that highlights the point that is niggas not getting married to people that's exactly the same with them. It's people are getting married to folks that they were missing something. I don't want the same shit. You know what I'm saying? I was missing some shit. That's why I married your ass, because I was missing some shit. I don't want the same shit. I already got that shit. I know I was missing some shit. So yeah, bring that difference over here. Bring that difference, whatever it is.
Bring that difference.
I mean, yeah. In my point of view, I think it can happen. It's all rooted in the level of respect you have for your partner, and the maturity level. Like you don't have to necessarily agree, but if you respect the mind of your partner and you look at your partner as someone who you like, I don't think you're stupid, even if you don't agree, you're going to listen to their
Right.
point of view because you
Yeah.
actually think that person might make a good point, even if you don't agree, but you'll
Right.
still respect their point of view. I think that's the root of everything, respect. And I mean, and honestly, your maturity level is rooted in the amount of respect you have any damn way. So it's not even really
Exactly.
about maturity. It's just a respect issue. I think that's just all it is. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if your partner respects your mind, I think outside of that, it really don't even matter. Y'all be fine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Y'all saying there's no case where people like forego that type
I
of.
think the only time that
Nah.
happens is when
Y'all
the
was already gonna
partner is
fuck up
trying to
if y'all
control the
fuck up
other
all
partner.
politics.
Like if you don't allow your partner to just to be who they are, then I think that's when it becomes an issue. You know what I'm saying? I think when you have a partner who wants to control the other one, then that's when it becomes a problem. And that can happen on both the male and female side. You know what I'm saying? That's just not,
Exactly.
like that's just how that shit is. When one partner wants to control the other one, that's when that shit becomes a problem. You know?
Yeah, that should make sense because that you're gonna see that before you even get to fucking politics topics and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's
that's
already
gonna be
gonna be
that
present.
shit gonna be done
Politics is gonna be a
regardless.
different aspect. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
politics is just gonna be a different
Thank
aspect of that same shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What you think, Al?
I think y'all overlooking some.
Man, I think I truly think that shit is, especially when it comes to some things, this shit is it could be a true deal breaker without question. I think that, but at the same time, I know it could be difficult, and I know it does happen, and I know it probably happens more times than not. Whereas though you have people on opposite sides of the political spectrum, whereas though you know what I'm saying, like they are at odds all the time, and so that causes the friction within house because like literally you're arguing about you pick a policy, you pick a point or what have you, because a lot of the times with politics it comes down to that. But at the same time, I think I don't think politics is any different from like spirituality too, because we see a lot of times where as though different religions within a relationship or a marriage, and somehow or another that still works. So, or not somehow or another, with due diligence, with due respect and due maturity, or however they come to an agreement, it still works. So I think it can work, but don't get me wrong. I know it's probably difficult as fuck to continue to have political conversations on a day in and day out basis. But the only thing about politics is, for the most part, is it's 2 and 4 times. It's every 2 years, it's approximately like every 2 years for real, and then every 4 years or per se. Of course, you have like ongoing like issues and different things. But like with spiritual stuff, it's like it can be on the daily, it can be on the weekly. Like, how are we gonna go to church today? How are we gonna go to, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are we gonna go to pray today, or different things like that. So man, I think that's always that's truly a tough one to call.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's just all depends on the individual person, the individual groups, the individual couples. You know what I'm saying? But like Corey was saying, you'll always see those signs early in your partner before it even gets to politics any damn way. You know what I'm saying? It's like politics ain't the problem. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if that person just already has a general respect for you already, as far as like, you know, your outlook, then I don't think that's just gonna be much of a problem, you know. So that's what I just think.
Exactly.
But like I said, there's some people who only want to see it their way. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you can't do nothing about that.
Yeah.
As you can't do nothing about that either, you know? And that's something you gotta be willing to deal with when you're in a relationship. That's some shit you gotta be willing to deal with, because there's some people who are just not willing to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Some people go hard for this shit. Like,
Yeah, I know, and that's where the shit don't work, because I feel like it's that one person who gotta be in control. You know what I'm saying? I think that's usually when shit creates problems.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
You got niggas out here talking about, oh, Joe Biden's tax plan. I can't fuck with that, nigga. Are you making 400,000 a year, nigga? 90% of motherfuckers ain't making 400,000 a year. It's like why why even go into the politics? It's not even that fucking serious. It's not that fucking serious at the end of the day. Half the shit that these niggas are talking about, at least half the shit anyway, it's not gonna affect your ass. It's not gonna affect your ass.
But not to them. They just they don't, you know.
They want to be passionate about some shit.
Something. They need something.
Yeah, they want to be passionate about some shit.
That is
It's
something.
like, and just me as an individual, it's like, dog, I'm not about to entertain that shit. I'm like, I would like
Yeah,
I said, I would have checked that shit a while ago before we even got into the politics or whatever. I would have peeped some shit. I would have peeped some shit. It was like, dog, yeah.
but the funny thing. Oh, go ahead, Randall. You got it.
That's what I'm saying.
What was you about to say, Randall?
In some instances, you would never know until like the politics arose. Like you think everything is, you know,
Dang sweet.
yeah, sweet until the politics arose.
Yeah, because even as we talk about it before, like a lot of the times, some of the discussions that you, at least growing up, a lot of the times I was always told like two things you're not really supposed to talk about outside of the house, and like yes, this is possibly a relationship,
Religion and politics.
something that's ongoing, but two things that you were supposed to talk outside of the house was politics and relationship,
right?
Politics and
Religion.
Religion.
Nah,
Yeah.
you right.
so to get into that,
That's true.
discussion, that's probably tough until like, because a lot of the times you won't actually get into that discussion. Like Randall said, you probably won't get into that discussion until years down the road or fucking election time.
And then like,
Yeah.
I don't know if like it has something to do with it, but even if it's like an interracial couple, like you probably run that even more.
Oh no, the interracial couples are having issues right now too. They did a poll on what they going through, and right now it's because the country's divided. So, like,
I bet.
so, like, if you fall in one way, like they like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I thought you was on my side.
Yeah, 71 million niggas voted white motherfucker.
Exactly.
71 million votes.
So it's not like Joe Biden really won. Like it's not like he won in a landslide. Like that's half and half.
It's more than the last joint, but
yeah,
still, you know what I'm saying?
So
7 million versus Hillary. Hillary won the popular vote by what, like 3-4 million at that or whatever. Joe Biden had 7 million over this nigga. I think it's 77 million or 71 or 72 million or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's
I don't understand that shit either, though. I don't understand that shit either. What do they consider a landslide? Because Trump won by the same amount of electoral votes last time. You know what I'm saying? And he called it a fucking landslide. I'm like, I don't. What is a fucking landslide? Are you not supposed to get no electoral votes? What is it now? What's the rules now? I need to know what the rules are now, dog. It's like, come on, man.
The rules is always shifted for whoever wins. Like, so
yeah.
The Cowboys. I mean, the Steelers just beat the Cowboys, and like literally, you probably
barely.
But then there will probably be some other. But there will be some other fans that will probably be like, "Man, we beat the shit out the Cowboys." You know, and regardless of how it was, like the final score was.
I recognize the realness, and I know that we always, when it's some games that we supposed to win, it's gonna be a fight. And I'm glad, unfortunately for your ass, I'm glad Dak was not out that joint, because it would have been a motherfucking shootout of that motherfucker. And we might not have got that joint.
I would have lost that shit.
Yeah, but even still going back to the politics jump, like a lot of the times, even as you think about it, it's a lot of the times with politics, sometimes it literally comes down to like one or two key issues. It's not like it's not all the time, whereas though it's the I agree with everything that you're saying. Like for in this instance, it's not I agree everything with what Trump's saying, or I agree with Joe Biden saying. Like literally, you could have been swayed one way by one quote unquote policy or one quote unquote statement that could have swayed you to one person as opposed to the other person, in which that shit could cause a major friction within a relationship.
That's why I brought up the whole $400,000 joint a year shit. It was like, dog, is it really 72 million Republicans that's making over $400,000 a year, and because the first thing I'll say is the economy. Trump is going to be better for the economy. It's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Corey,
Everybody makes 400.
I think like the media like made a issue of that whole like that talking point. Like nobody give a fuck about that shit for real. Rappers give a fuck about it, so we gotta give a fuck about it.
Damn, nigga,
Media is trash.
Deja vu like shit. Deja vu like shit. All right.
Like the media can just lie to the general public with like no fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like no, you know what I mean? Like they can literally commit crime. Like I feel like the media should be arrested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're like committing treason against the American people.
Yeah.
You know, think about it. They're lying to us.
Who's really going hard though in the media? Who's really going hard though, Marcus? In the media?
All of them.
That's so. Hey, y'all know.
The media is a tool, nigga.
Y'all know
the media
that,
is probably the most powerful tool out here.
So y'all know.
Money
to that point, y'all know that.
Hey, we going into OT right now, but go ahead, Paul.
No, I was gonna say, so to that point, y'all know that Fox 5 is now based as an entertainment channel, not a news channel, because
this been for a minute.
They don't present actual news. Like they are entertainment. They're almost like TMZ. You know what I'm saying? So it's
what news is?
I'll say maybe not the channel,
what
but
news is
like the shows that they had. Those shit was all entertainment. They always
it was so bad. Their reality was so bad. I think the truth of what they project was like under 30%, and it was so bad that they changed to an entertainment channel. That's fucked up, bro.
It's ridiculous.
What difference is there in any other media outlet? What difference?
That's what I'm saying. This all the same. They all these niggas blind.
I watch CNN.
You gotta think about it. The thing with the media, they couldn't be broadcasted. They couldn't be broadcasted at a high level unless it's controlled. So these niggas can't be out here. Oh, let me tell positive stories. They gonna tell what they being told.
Yeah, everything.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of
the day, everything's gonna have some type of control.
None of these niggas. You said what?
I was saying at the end of the day, everything's gonna have some type of control though. It's always gonna be an owner or whatever.
But what I'm sitting there saying is that the media chooses the narratives that are being suggested to you. So at the end of the day, don't think that the media is just working on some freelance like, oh shit, this bad happened. Look over here. Oh, that bad happened. Like, no, it's like, nigga, all this shit is derived, nigga. It's not, none of this shit ain't by happenstance. Everything you see on TV is for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? None of this shit is you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, none of this is
But I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but it's like at some point, it's like it's got to be some type of real, or it's got to be some type of fake.
No, it's not.
It don't on TV, nigga.
Dog. It's dog. You can't have.
Corey, how many of your woke homies? Corey, how many of your woke joints that you follow say television is tell lies to your vision? Every single woke nigga you didn't ever heard didn't say that shit. Tell lies. I know you done heard that saying before.
Yeah.
The television tell lies to your vision. All right, then, nigga.
But still, my point is, we are all watching the same fucking election, are we not? We are all watching the same fucking election. So please tell me, who is the actual rightful winner?
The election is on what? The election is covered by who?
What you mean? The election is covered by the media. Yeah. So
exactly.
What?
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
So my point is, all the media has Biden has all the fucking votes. He has more votes than every fucking body. So I'm like, why are we still in this shit? I don't understand that shit.
For that exact reason.
All right. Yeah, I hear you. That makes sense. They're trying to do the theatrics. All right.
Look up Project Mockingbird, bro. Look at Project Mockingbird.
Yeah. We at OT right now?
The news is like a scripted reality TV show.
Look at Project Mockingbird. Look who Anderson Cooper is. Look at like all these, like they all related.
But we in OT right now though, right?
Nah, we can end this and go to OT.
Yeah, cut this shit.
I ain't gonna cut it just
all
like
right, we ain't gotta do it.
I got questions.
I guess.
All right, I'm gonna wrap this shit up, y'all. We'll holler.
Nah. All right. So, if y'all like what y'all heard so far and y'all want to continue this conversation, please follow us to the next episode of Overtime. That'll be Overtime. We got somebody. Overtime 20.
And 21.
21. Overtime 21.
Been through them.
We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes now. Fuck with us. We got merch coming soon. I don't want to go too far right now. But yeah,
You ain't going nowhere, P-Shot.
This nigga. Listen how he said that though. Listen how he said it though.
You ain't going nowhere, dog.
hit him, Corey. Shit.
I holler.
All right.